And we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tint Wisdom number 41. I'm here with Burns from GeoShield, and thanks for being here today, Burns.
Great to be here, Eric. This is one of my first deals like this, so I don't really know what to expect.
All right. Well, it's easy. It's me and you having coffee through a computer without any actual coffee. So,
All right.
what I'm going to do first is I'm going to pull up the chat just so I can see everybody who's in the comments, and once I have that up, we can jump right into things.
Cool.
See. All right. So yeah, GeoShield. You've been doing GeoShield since about 2005, is that right?
That's correct. It's 2005.
Tell me a little more.
Yeah.
How did that get started?
I'm sorry, it kind of broke up.
Oh, tell me a little more about how GeoShield got started.
We got started back in 2005. We wanted to do an energy efficient product. That was back when green building was real big, and we wanted to focus on windows and saving money on energy bills. And we looked at all the products on the market at the time, and there was a need for a 70% film that would block a lot of heat and wouldn't change the appearance of the windows, but it was limited at the time. There was V-Cool and a few others spectrally selective like Beckard Highlight and those things, but they all required to be edge sealed and they're all super expensive. We joined up with LSU, their incubator there, and basically we flew to Korea. I had $20,000 in my pocket, and I purchased 70% that they were making for the front windshields of car with the first ceramics at the time. You know, it was one of the first IR films out there. And, we brought it back over here and really had no way to sell it. I was cutting 8.5 by 11 samples and, mailing them out to dealers with handwritten letters. And, it was kind of a joke, really. We had just one product. And it kind of just grew from there.
Okay, so I mean, when you say you had no way to sell it, like you went to Korea with the intention of buying the film to fill the market, or was it for a product specific? Was it a project specific for you, or did you go there with the intention of like distributing it to other dealers?
We always had the intention of being distributors. We wanted to, we were really focused on the architectural side of it.
Okay.
We later developed some other products, some sputter titanium nitride films, single ply, similar like Cooper Optics products. And then from there, people just kept asking us for more products. And, we developed, our IR films, which are, first dyed ceramic hybrids on the market, 12 years ago for automotive. And have just evolved with, what people asked for us to do. We've really specialized in ceramic window films, and that's kind of been our niche. And, we like the high-end films. And, we've learned a lot over the years. We've made a lot of mistakes and, continue to try to improve every year.
So do you currently have a tint company, or did you have you had a tint company before you started GeoShield? Yeah.
No, I did not. Actually, I come from a background. I come from Wells Fargo. I was selling mortgages in the peak of it all, and it's just not something I wanted to do. I wanted to start my own company. We were really into green building, and we were really into the energy efficient side of things, and that's kind of always been my focus, and that's what I enjoy doing. Actually, I've started another solar panel company that was hugely successful along the way. Learned a lot from it, but it kind of sidetracked me a little bit from window film in the process. But I'm back in window film full time. I sold my solar panel company probably 6-7 years ago.
Okay, so on that subject, you're saying it kind of, I don't know if did you use the word distracted from it or pulled you thinner from it or whatnot from like the window film company. You said you sold it about 5 or 6 years ago. So I felt like I was more aware of GeoShield in the earlier days than like the last few years. Is that
Absolutely.
That's a fair that's observation?
Totally fair. I have 5 kids under 3 years old. So I have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1-year-old. So that's what I spent the last 5 years doing.
Okay.
And the 5 years before that, I was really growing my solar panel company. We always did window film, and window film's always been the core of what we do. But yes, we kind of lost track. I mean, every entrepreneurs do see that all the time. We see shiny objects and we just gravitate towards them, and, we're easily distracted. And I think that's a lot of people. And, but right now I have a renewed focus on GeoShield. It's all I do now.
Okay.
And I've learned a lot along the way from, being a father and being, running the solar panel company and starting it. And, you pick up a lot of skills along the way. So I'm making another big push in window film right now. our products are better than ever, our company's better than ever, our people are better than ever, and we're really excited about the future.
So let's talk about all three of those. Moving forward, what's new as far as you said the products are better than ever? Tell me more about what's on the horizon and what's on the current, I guess, with the products.
Well, we moved from one film to a full line of films. We have a full line of flat glass films. We have 3 different lines of automotive films now. We finally recently completed it with adding a carbon film. So we have just our classic, color stable dye product, a carbon film, and a ceramic film.
Okay.
And they're all H+ films. We're really happy where we are with our products right now. Sure, there's some other things I'd like to offer. I'd love to carry every VLT for, every state, but I'd love to go to a full 72-inch platform. We do it with a lot of our films now, but there's some little things that I still want to work on in there. But we're really excited about the films we have now. And what I'm really focused on now is, our current dealers. I'm really trying to get out there and connect with our current dealers and help them grow their businesses. Not as much as attracting new business, but it is working with the guys we have. I feel we can grow tremendously. Okay. We've been around a long time. We know a lot of people. We have a lot of great dealers, and we just need to work with them to grow their business, and we'll grow ours.
So as a GeoShield dealer, what kind of things are you, what are you doing, or what do you have planned for those GeoShield dealers with that initiative of growing their businesses? Because that's really great that you're investing in your existing dealers, that, your first strategy isn't just add more dealers, which is obviously a very somewhat of a common way of going about things in the industry.
I think it's really connecting with them, that personal relationship, making myself available to them. I see a lot of things from all over the country that, from different dealers that other dealers don't get exposed to. I didn't grow my business on Facebook or, any of this stuff. We grew it old-fashioned way, writing letters, phone calls. But I'm really excited about the technology giving me able to connect with a lot more dealers and, manage a lot more dealers, just kind of like how your stuff works with the CRM stuff. Now with the technology, I can connect to a lot of more people and share a lot more information. I have so much stuff in my head, that I've accumulated over the years, and I just want to share that with our dealers now and really help them grow their business and listen to what they need. They tell me what they need. They say, Burns, I need help with this bid. I'm like, all right, let's sit down and look at it. Let's work the numbers and, let's put together this flat glass project. Or, they said, Burns, I need help with my showroom. I was like, well, I see this guy over here in South Carolina doing some really cool stuff with his showroom that you can apply to yours. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really kind of what it's about now, is disseminating this information to, everybody.
So access to you being accessible to your dealers would be one way that you're helping dealers grow, right? Because you're saying, if I heard you correctly, that you obviously have a wealth of information. You've experienced a lot of dealers. I'm sure you've spoken to and seen the operations of dealers and so on. So you have the experience to fill in the holes where people may have questions, may need assistance, bidding jobs, setting up their showroom, just that sort of thing. Would that be inaccurate?
It's not only that. It's kind of,
Tell me, I want to hear it all.
For me, it's about the relationship. I consider myself almost a personal trainer for our dealers. We all have our problems. We all, being an entrepreneur is really lonely. I don't even like the term entrepreneur. When I started business, I wouldn't even think we're just small business owners.
Sure.
But being a small business owner, it's a lonely deal. You don't have people to bounce ideas off of. You kind of feel like you're on your own a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. I know I feel that way personally a lot of the time.
So support. You're saying more like an emotional, like a personal, like a business support kind of.
It's everything. It's everything. Whatever you need from me, I want to help you out as much as I can.
Yeah, it's just that if I guess the way I see it is if you're saying, if you're saying, hey, I can do everything for you. Anything you need, come to me. To me, that everything becomes so broad that I have to narrow it down, because everything is, it can't be everything. So I'm trying to nail down what are the strengths. So, what are the strengths? Like what are the things at the top, let's say 5 things that you get called upon from your dealers where you feel like you're making a big impact by being there, supporting them and providing them support that maybe they can't get with a lot of other manufacturers. That's what I'm trying to kind of
Yeah, I mean,
figure
like
out?
this afternoon before we got on this phone call, FedEx had dropped the ball on a package, and the customer had a car that they were ceramic coating in there this afternoon. The customer had to pick it up and take it to New Jersey tomorrow, and he's like, Burns, I'm screwed. And we did everything right on our end. We dropped the package off at FedEx at 5:50 on a Friday, staying overtime, but it just didn't get delivered today. I said, look, no problem. I'm going to overnight it to you, 10 a.m. I just got off the road and just got back from FedEx and hop in front of this computer. He's going to have it tomorrow about 10 a.m. And, I talked to him about accelerating the cure on it, how we could do that with heat lamps and everything. And, but I mean, making decisions like that quickly, and do it. They don't, I don't need authorization to do stuff. My guys don't need authorization to do stuff. We just do it a lot of the times. And that's one example of how we cut through the red tape. I mean, if you have warranty problems or problems, we're accessible by cell phone. Text message me, if you have a problem, with our film or anything like that, we're going to take care of it. Because problems do happen. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things. My wife asks me all the time, what is it that you do? And I was like, I really just wait around for mistakes to happen and try to fix them. And that's a big part of what I do. Unfortunately, there are going to be mistakes that, we can't control, but, we try to make them right. That's just one little small aspect of, what makes our company really good at what we do.
Okay, and then as far as you mentioned, the team, the people are the best they've ever been. I assume you meant team, unless you meant dealers. I'm sure you probably mean both. But as far as your team goes, I don't know. Is it grown over the years? Is it like? Tell me more about the team. I guess. What are the team people are expecting?
A very small staff.
Sure, and that's a good thing. It's efficient. It's efficiency.
We don't have any outside sales reps or anything like that.
Okay.
Everybody basically does their roles really well. Cubby Wolf has been with me for almost 10 plus years. He's our vice president of operations. I mean, this guy's an animal. I mean, and we really care about what we do. We understand the importance of, people put a lot of trust in us. They put a lot of trust in our film, and, because it's their name on the line. And we take what we do very seriously. We want to, make sure we don't hurt their business in any way. So when we tell them something, we like to keep our word. Like I said, Cubby's been around a long time. He's really good at what he does. He manages operations for us. And, again, if you have any problem, he can handle it. He's seen it all. If it comes down to putting film on a Greyhound bus, we can do it. The distribution, we do very well. The marketing side of things, we have.
Is a Greyhound bus fast?
Dude, super fast.
Okay, I don't know.
I can go buy a ticket tonight and have it in Colorado by like 10 a.m. in the morning for you to pick up.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. More than that, we're a true micro company. We outsource a lot of our marketing and stuff. I work with Patrick over there at iMagnet. I recommend him to a lot of dealers to do their marketing stuff. He does a great job with the social media things and with everything, the website building, and we employ different guys who do design and everything else. We don't have everybody in house. I mean, we really built the company. It's still a modern company, so we're still on the forefront of most things. I know, like your CRM, is trying to advance people technology wise. We've always done that. We use Salesforce to manage all our customer database, and adopting new technologies. I mean, if you don't, you're gonna be in trouble.
Sure. So, as far as social media goes, what's the outlook for GeoShield as far as consumer facing, as far as dealer facing? Is there anything in the works that I don't know? I'm just fishing for anything cool that you might have planned.
I need to get off Facebook more. She says I'm on Facebook too much, but
what do you primarily like? How do you keep your time busy with Facebook? Because I mean, there's so many different ways to use it. I'm curious.
Really, for me, I would really like to generate better content for dealers to be able to share on their social media. Because I mean, in the end, it's all about advertising to the end user, and that's something no one's really ever been able to do or do well. I mean, if I had an unlimited budget, like these big guys out here like, XPEL or Lumar or whoever, the big publicly traded companies. I mean, it'd be easy. I'd be rocking sweet 30-second Instagram videos and,
So
rolling
what do you
out
think,
nonstop
like
dealers to
budget
advertise.
wise, what would stop you from making 30-second Instagram videos? Because
Nothing.
that's
I mean,
free.
right now we're doing that, but I mean, we can't do it on a level that, I really like. So
What level would that be?
Oh, for me, it'd be a full shoot. I sat down with a guy the other day, put out a storyboard of what I wanted to do, for advertising to the end user. And he's like, that's great. We could do it. It's going to be XXX. But he said, you ain't going to be able to do one, if you want to generate content now, people are generating content nonstop.
Right.
He's like, you need to get on this Adobe Rush platform. You need to get you a gimbal, which I have. You need to get out there and be making all this stuff yourself right now. And that's what a lot of the stuff I'm doing. I'm teaching myself now is, how to edit an iMovie. I got a gimbal, got a freaking drone. Starting to do it myself because it's not about putting out just one video. That's not going to work. You have to be able to do it constantly for many years. And so right now I'm trying to train myself to do all this stuff. And I think you'll see a big advancement, in all the stuff we're going to be doing here soon.
That's cool.
But we're still getting there. It's a moving target though, as you know.
I mean, for sure. And I kind of, because you mentioned the big guys and unlimited budget and then Instagram videos. And I just felt like Instagram videos don't fit in with the big guys and a big budget because Instagram videos can be done by anybody with just a phone, no editing. A lot of the more popular videos are the less produced. More produced has become less popular in a lot of aspects. And, I just think that there's such an opportunity for quote unquote little guy to take advantage of that, where if we're comparing to the big guys, they have a lot more people that have to okay things. There's lawyers that have to review things. There's a lot more advanced planning. And to me, that's actually a big, negative and a big hurdle for them. Whereas when you're talking about social media, I think the advantage fully goes to the quote unquote little guy, and the budget is the advantage too, because the budget's not needed. Whereas when we're talking old marketing in these more outdated ways, that's where you need a budget. If you think, okay, I want to get into window film, whether, I want to sell window film to a dealer, or I want to Tint Wiz, I want dealers to find out about us. If we go the old fashioned way and we say, hey, let's go in a trade magazine, we're going to spend, literally 100 times more than it would cost to reach that same amount of people on Facebook just through that traditional way. So I don't know. I just feel like you have the advantage.
I agree with that. I think a lot of it comes down to, me personally, not to want to put out anything that's not perfect or the best. It's kind of.
But what is perfect or the best? It's kind of perfect or the best. A lot of times we imagine doing things in a way that's not feasible. And then we say, okay, when this happens, we'll be able to do it that way. Instead of going, well, what is feasible? Because perfect or the best, if you make a video that's no better quality than your phone with no editing and it reaches 1,000 dealers and impacts them, is that not perfect and the best versus, do you know what I mean?
You're absolutely right. Yeah. We all kind of like that. We want a company image is, everything, and we don't want to put out, rinky dink videos that people, oh, look at these guys, they're amateurs or whatever. Everybody's self-conscious like that.
Sure.
But something that we're gonna get there. I know we will. But talking to guys like you, I learned these things. I mean, talking these things out is important.
Yep. And that's why I say it, because I feel like there's a lot of shops out there who are thinking the same thing, and they don't want to put out a video, and they're thinking, well, we can't afford to have a video crew, and, we have to wait till we have a Ferrari in here and all these things. And that's kind of why I want to say it. I feel like it applies to you, but it applies to literally everyone, which is, it's more important to get it out there than to meet some sort of perfect expectation, because really the way you get to perfect is through practice. Whatever your perfect is, the way you get there is through practice, and you have to throw the ball at the rim and miss the shot to ever get it in. If you just wait and plan it, that's not practice. You know what I mean? So that's
sure.
That's why I wanted to take the.
I was all worried about our video tonight. I was like, he's got this fancy green screen, his logo behind him. I was like, I didn't really have time to even change clothes before this. Well, like I said, I was at FedEx.
I mean, in all fairness, the first one of these Tint Wisdoms was outside of a Starbucks with the wind blowing and nothing going on. Like there was no production aspect to it. And part of why I moved from Tuesday to Thursday, because Tuesday was only one time a week I would get to practice and do this. Thursday means I would do double the amount of videos in a year than one time. So that means in a year from now, I would have doubled the experience. And then now, I mean, this week this is our second because it's Tuesday, but we'll do 3 this week and 4 last week, and that's 7. If I did 1 a week, that would have been 7 weeks. I managed that in 2. So I'm just saying that out loud because, you know, it really is a matter of practice. So I feel like the more practice you get, the more opportunities you have to learn and to get better. It's more
That's
shots.
What I'm doing. I'm trying to put myself out there right now. That's why I saw what you're doing. I liked it. I said, let me call this guy and try to put it together.
Well, I appreciate that. And I do want to mention as well, I did see the video you did with Rick Tallman. It's on your YouTube page, which is your full name. If somebody's searching, and you could type in as like Burns GeoShield story, and that's how you can find it pretty easily. It's a really great interview. I feel like Rick hit a lot of points, and I want to expand on some of those points now. But I would recommend anybody watching this, I would search for that YouTube video and watch it because it's like I said, he hit a lot of good questions. And one of those questions he asked that I wanted to talk more about today was, you know, he asked, what is an ideal dealer and GeoShield relationship? Like, who fits into, you know, going to be maybe get the best out of GeoShield and GeoShield's be able to be the best partner for them? What type of dealer, where in the life cycle of being a window tinter, who is it?
I mean, it's a lot of different guys. And it's usually, I deal with a lot of small market customers, like small towns that may, not have a huge population that, support, having, a 3M, brand or, one of the larger brands. And, we provide the products to compete with everybody else's high-end films. If you go look at our lineup, we have something that'll beat everybody else's high-end film. We'll beat them on performance. We'll beat them on price. We like to deliver a lot of value to those customers. But usually my guys are mom and pop shops, usually owner operated. One guy, does all the tinting. He may have a guy who helps them. And, they're about $5, $10, maybe $20,000 a year. That's kind of my sweet spot for customers. And we really provide them. We may not be their base film that they're using every single day, but we're the high-end film they use when they got the really picky customer that comes in, or they want to close that homeowner, that high-end homeowner that's a friend of theirs. I mean, we're not going to beat everybody on price. That's just not what we do, but we're the people that call when you want to sleep like a baby at night after you install the film and know everything's okay. But a lot of those guys are, like I said, they're small businesses, usually in smaller towns. But, we have big customers in big towns too, but, that's not really where we do our best work. Our best work is really, with the owner-operator guys.
Okay. And then,
but I don't sell to any dealerships, which is crazy. I won't sell to any car dealerships. I just refuse to do it for the same reason tinners refuse to do it a lot of the times.
Why? Because it's putting a tinner out of business, kind of? Taking a job away?
Absolutely. I mean, you're taking new cars off the street. I mean, it's the same thing if I was doing installations myself. I don't do installations because I don't compete with my customers. And we don't overload markets. Like, I'm happy with one dealer. I mean, I want one good customer that I'm friends with.
So how does that work as far as like a dealer network, like an area? Is there a territory, or how does that work?
I mean, we have exclusive contracts. I mean, but when we get into exclusive contracts, then we get into minimum purchase amounts, which I don't really like to do. I never liked, even back in the day, companies were doing buy-ins. Just to buy product, you have to pay $5,000 in marketing materials, initial orders, and all that. Mm-hmm. And I never thought that was, I was like, that's crazy to me. I mean, you're trying to get this person to buy, and I mean, it was just crazy. So we kind of just went old school and just like, look, we're going to do it with a handshake and a promise. And if you want exclusive contracts, we have those. But we try to stick to our word and support our dealers. We have some markets where, bigger markets where there may be 2 or 3 customers, but we try to keep it fair. Call me if there's a problem. We don't like people poaching other people's business, and that's really the only real value we offer. Is one of the biggest values we offer is exclusivity. Because look, anybody can go buy, Suntech film or whatever, and the guy down the street's going to say, "Oh, well, I can do it for $20 cheaper." Whereas our film, no, the guy cannot give you down the street GeoShield at $20 cheaper. You can't even get GeoShield, and a lot of that's.
I thought you said that most of it's not contracts; it's just access without purchases. So wouldn't the guy down the street be able to buy it? Or you don't sell to anybody near?
Everything comes out of our shop. We're very small. We have no outside reps. I mean, we have no outside distributors.
No. I guess the part that I'm confused on is to start buying GeoShield. I think I heard you correctly saying, you don't need to have a $5,000 minimum purchase or anything like that. Just need to buy the film. And for the most part, if you're looking for an exclusive contract, you have those available, but typically it's just done on a handshake and so on. So what I'm wondering is if there's somebody in, I don't know, let's say Atlanta, and they say, "Hey, I have a customer, they want some high-end film. I don't have access to 3M," or maybe it's a smaller city in Georgia, let's say. "I don't have access to 3M. I don't have access to Hooper Optic." GeoShield sounds like a really great high-end solution. Are you saying that because if there's a dealer in the area, you won't sell to them, or they can buy it? I don't know if the screen froze. Okay, I think the screen froze because I finished the question and there was, yeah. So give me 1 second. Let's see why the screen froze. There you go. You back?
It wasn't on mine.
Okay, no worries. Well, it froze on my end. Did you hear the question or no?
Yeah, I heard the question.
Okay, and I don't know if there's clicking, but yeah, like the less.
Is your video working now?
It is, but I don't know why it paused for a second, but we're doing good now. So, ready whenever you are, I can re-ask the question.
Froze on your end.
Yeah, just try not to. I don't know if you're like doing anything on your computer, but any little anything that uses your computer can slow down the streaming process. So you want to have everything closed, all the windows. Skype should be the only thing open for maximum efficiency here. Are you with me? Can you hear me okay, Burns? Hello? All right, we're going to take a second and figure out what's going on with this stream. And I don't know. Burns, hello. All right, so I'm going to reconnect with Burns. Give me 1 second. We'll get this back rolling. Hey, buddy. Yeah, I'm gonna yeah, just I don't know if you could hear me, and I don't know if you're actually using the computer for anything, but just have everything closed and no computer usage
I got 6 processors on this thing. It ain't on my hand, I promise you.
That's okay. I'm just saying. Okay. So anyway, let's get back to that question that I was at. Where'd we leave off?
All right. What was the question?
It seems like we're having a little bit of technical difficulty still. But so I just want to wait till this catches up. Make sure we can hear each other well. All right. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Okay, cool. So the question was, as far as exclusivity, you mentioned that the guy down the street can't be offering a film for $20 less or so on, and I was just trying to get some clarity regarding you mentioned that there is not really a big hurdle into becoming a GeoShield dealer, that there isn't like a big minimum buy-in, and there may be a couple dealers in your area. So I was wondering how you handle that, if it's based on geography, because you mentioned that, you usually do things on a handshake and not necessarily an exclusivity contract. So how does a dealer that, a GeoShield dealer, like what can they expect as far as not having another GeoShield dealer near them or having one near them and so on?
Yeah, I mean, I would first look and see if we already have a dealer there. I mean, I kind of got a nose for it now. I mean, if something smells fishy, I mean, if someone's calling me, get the price on, 5 or 6 rolls of film, for a flat glass project, I realize, and I've never talked to them before, they never got a dealer back. That's when I'd fall back on my sales force, and I'd see if we've ever spoke with them or ever sent them a dealer pack or ever seen any information to see kind of what their interest really is.
And what would that potentially be? You're saying maybe they went out to bid a job, the customer decided on GeoShield, and now they're trying to just beat them out on price? Yeah, absolutely. I see it all the time. That's where, being a small company, I know my customers. I've known all our customers for over the years. And so I'll look, see who we have in that market and say, look, we already have a dealer in that market. We see it all the time. But I mean, that's what we try to help protect our dealers who do that. I mean, that's the whole point of our products, to have that exclusivity too. Got it.
I mean, if I don't have a dealer in that market, if I have nobody buying from there, I'll sell to them.
Right. No, that makes perfect sense. I just didn't know if there was so it's just a matter of, knowing the area, knowing if they're potentially bidding on a job and try to figure out if one of your existing dealers are maybe competing with them. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not going to step over a dealer to try to make a few dollars. We have a saying down here, dance with the girl that brought you, and that's what we always do. I always support the guys, even the smaller guys, that I know that maybe, loyalty to me is worth way more than, a few extra bucks, I mean, I'm not going to sell a roll of film just to sell it. I want the repeat business. I want the loyalty. I want that relationship.
Got it. So, tell me, I'm curious, moving forward this year, what are like maybe 3 things that you really want to improve on for GeoShield? You mentioned obviously the social media aspect of it. You want to get more content out there. You want to get more like marketing material into your dealers' hands. Is there anything else that stands out to you that's coming up this year?
Oh, absolutely. We're going to be making a big push this year. I think you're going to be seeing a lot more of me out there this year. I'll be doing a lot more sales calls. I'd love to be on the road more. But with my young kids now, it's really tough for me. So I have to fall back on technology like this to let me talk to more dealers. That's a big thing, big commitment I made for 2020 is I started calling all our old customers again, trying to reconnect. And because, we get fat and happy and you kind of lose touch with your business. And I felt that I had, it kind of just on cruise control. We turned into almost order takers, which I never wanted to be. I never want to just sit back and take your order. I want to try to do more, and I want the business to grow and everybody to do better. And I think we can do better. I mean, look, I was competing with these guys when I had a pen and paper. I mean, we have a legit business now with, multiple display boards, heat lamp demos, everything, every bit of marketing material and website and everything the big boys have now. So good luck to them.
Okay, cool. Well, is there anything else that we didn't touch on that you wanted to kind of let everybody know about the brand, about yourself? Anything you wanted to get out today that we didn't cover?
I mean, there's a bunch of stuff I love to get out, but I think it's just a matter of getting to know me and, the same way getting to know customers. I mean, relationship building takes time. It's not like... Oh, I meant
on this video stream now. I meant, is there anything that you wanted to get out, currently on this video that we haven't covered?
Talk about whatever you want to talk about. What's the hot topic?
I don't know that there was a hot topic. I was just saying, if we're... I don't know. I was just... My questions were regarding GeoShield, and I didn't know if there was anything, regarding the company that you wanted to get out there. With the comments, I'll check through if we miss any questions, but I feel like we might have got disconnected from the live stream at some point. It might have broken off. So I don't know if we're going to be getting any more questions from anybody. So I was just wondering if there was any like
what are the questions we have? What are the questions we have right now?
I don't think anybody actually asked any questions. They were just commented like live videos from your installers are popular. They don't have to be professional.
That's a good idea.
Yep. And
yeah, we started doing some stuff with Matt at Tint stuff. Yeah. So,
nice.
Yeah.
What do you have going on with Matt?
About that. I mean, look, I'm gonna start doing live streams. If I get these mega super chats or whatever, people pay me $20 to tint cars. I'll do it all day long. I don't know that was even a thing on YouTube.
Do you tint cars? Like, do you know how to tint cars?
I'm awful. I mean, I can tint flat glass very well. I'm better at paint correction and ceramic coating. I've actually spent the last 2 years ceramic coating boats here in Lake Charles. We have a ceramic coating that, again, guilty of being an entrepreneur and chasing new products and looking at new products and stuff. But we had a ceramic coating come across my desk maybe 5 years ago. The guys in the Middle East were saying, hey, we're using the ceramic coating. We're putting it on top of y'all's PPF, to prevent yellowing and, making it easier to clean and everything.
Yeah.
I was like, that's cool, And they, I really started watching them, and they're doing all the paint correction and they're doing everything. And then so I talked to them. This is all our Middle East dealers. And they're like, yeah, we have a really great product. We want to put your name on it. We want to put the GeoShield name on it and sell it over here. I was like, all right, go ahead. And we have weird royalty deals with them over there. But so I watched the product over there and I was doing really well for them. I was like, all right, this ceramic coating stuff's actually pretty cool. I'd seen it at SEMA for like 2 years. It's probably been out for 7 or plus years or whatever. But I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna check it out. And so we brought the product over here to the U.S. like 2 years ago. And I was like, all right, it worked great in the Middle East, but let's see what it does in the swamps of Louisiana. And so for the last 2 years, I ran a shop, ceramic coating boats myself down here called Elixir Marine. I recently actually just closed it up this last month because I was basically spending too much time coating boats and not enough time working on GeoShield. It's kind of one of the things I talked about for 2020. I was like, I really couldn't find same thing every shop faces. I couldn't find good help. I ended up doing all the work myself. Either that or, I'm just that OCD where, I wanted to do all the work myself. In the end, I was spending too much time playing with boats and not enough time working on GeoShield. But I learned a lot about ceramic coating in the process. I learned a lot about our product. I learned a lot about, paint correction, especially marine side of it. I really enjoy boats. I kind of like boats more than cars, and that's probably bad to say on here. But cars get people going, boats get me going. I'm definitely more of a boat guy than a car guy.
So what would you say to somebody who said, you're obviously entrepreneurial in your blood, whether you like the word or not. You've started businesses, GeoShield and ceramic coatings, expanded to ceramic coating shop and solar panels and so on. You obviously recognize that, one of the temptations in being an entrepreneur is spreading yourself too thin and in different directions. What would you say to somebody who said, well, isn't this just going to happen again in a couple of years? Maybe, 2 years from now, something else comes along and next thing because I would imagine like you're saying you were spending too little time in GeoShield, that means you weren't accomplishing everything you wanted to within GeoShield. What can you do in the future to, or what are the plans in the future to keep that from potentially happening again in a year, 2 years, 3 years, if something else comes along?
I mean, I think it's a long road. I don't know what's ahead of me. I mean, I know GeoShield's been around for 15 years and it'll probably continue to be around with or without me. I'd like to be a bigger part of it. I think I bring a lot to the table, especially, look, my expertise are, in window tint and now in ceramic coatings. I mean, I wasn't that far off the ball with it. We do have that ceramic coating product. But yeah, I think all entrepreneurs face that. I mean, it's not like I'm perfect or anything, or I know everything about window tint or ceramic coating or anything. I'm just a normal guy. And, we all have, our lives, and it's about finding the balance for me. I mean, that's what I'm looking more for than anything. I got 3 kids and a wife at home. I want to have that balance. I want to have a great work life. Unfortunately, what we do requires a lot of work. We're 7 o'clock at night right now. We're talking.
So what advice would you
really
give to a tint shop that was saying, hey, I'm spending all my time at the shop. I'm busy. I have a lot of work, but I don't have that work-life balance. Is there any advice you would give to somebody in that situation?
I think everybody's situation is different. I think you got to go where your biggest strengths are. That's why I went away from the boats and went to window film, because I was like, look, I'm spending 40 hours a week, cleaning this boat basically. And that's 40 hours I could be applying to GeoShield and getting, much longer returns than, working from boat to boat to boat. It's the same thing guys probably feel in the shops, we're just, you're car to car to car. And, I feel that you want that family life too. And, it's about finding that balance. So it's really about allocating where you're spending your time and spending your time in the best place that's going to give you the most long-term, benefits. And sure, it's great to make that cash quick, and we all got to make our money, So but it's really about getting that focus and putting yourself to work where you're going to be most efficient and you're going to get the most long-term results out of it. And that's something that's taken me a long time to learn. And I probably still haven't learned my lesson. You're probably right. I probably will see something shiny and new and try to learn everything about it. That's how I got into window tint.
I can't be right, because I'm not saying that's what you're going to do. I just wondered, it's like you said, it happens to everybody. Everybody, something comes along, you're ambitious. That's what's the fun part of being an entrepreneur. So I just wondered if there was some way that you keep yourself in line, or some goal or target that's going to keep you in line. But I'm not suggesting that it's going to go that way. I have no idea.
No, really, for me, it's just about, I like to learn stuff. When I first got into window tint, I read every single post on Tint Dude for about 3 years straight. I think I read every single thing ever written on there. And that's how I'm kind of getting back into it with Facebook a little bit. I'm reading all these groups and everything, and there's so much more information now than there ever was. I like to learn.
Are you part of all the groups on Facebook now?
I don't know if I'm part of them all, but I think so. There might be some super secret underground ones I don't know about. Of course,
I'm probably not. I'm sure I'm not part of them all. I'm 100% certain. But as far as like the ones that are easily searchable.
Oh yeah, I definitely keep an eye on them. I read them every day. That's just kind of how I am. I want to know everything there is to know about everything I do.
And do you find yourself as being more of like a lurker, like you read, or do you comment as well? Do you make posts? Like, where do you feel?
I think it goes back to like how I was self-conscious about doing the videos for Instagram and everything. I don't want to put anything out there that's not perfect. Look, I don't do politics. I don't do religion. That's not. But I don't get into those things. And I don't like how just divided the groups are. You'll have someone say the sky is blue. They're like, fuck that, sky's not blue. It's brown or whatever. There's always going to be people that are argumentative. So I don't like that whole aspect of it. I'm not a very confrontational person unless you really put me in a corner. And so I don't really dig that whole vibe. But I sit back and I laugh and I watch, and there's a lot of things I would say a lot of times. I see some really dumb stuff out there that I could easily just rip people for. But look, everybody's trying to do the best they can. Everybody's either, but I've traveled the entire world. We have dealers in the Middle East, manufactured products, in India, Korea. Window film's been awesome to me. It's taken me all around the world. Our solar panels in China, everything. And I've learned one absolute. Everything wants the same thing. Everybody wants to take care of their kids, take care of their family, and give their kids a better life. And, sometimes we screw up in that process. And, we get sidetracked and, but that's the universal truth for everybody. So I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and, I reserve my comments and, let people keep living their lives.
Yeah. Yeah, I think well said. I can understand how you want to keep your distance when you see such, opportunity for a post to go south over nothing, because you don't want to be engaged in that. And I definitely understand that. And I hope the people that sometimes put that unnecessary pressure on, people posting also see that it keeps people like you from maybe being as active as you may be if that wasn't so much of the culture. And what that means is, the more and more, I feel like, it's definitely going in the direction of less Wild West, more, more family friendly and supportive to each other as a tint family and group. So hopefully everybody continues to see that, it's not just for kicks when you talk shit. It actually, there's actually intangibles that come of it, which can be less people participating. That means less questions, less answers, less innovation, and everybody kind of loses on that aspect, Yeah,
I got a lot of respect for the guys putting themselves out there. It's kind of like, I never in high school was the one out on the dance floor doing anything. I've always kind of been a little bit in the back corner. The guys out there, it's easy to make fun of people, and people will see videos or whatever, and they'll immediately try to pick out what's wrong with it. And that's just not cool, man. I mean, the more power to the guys actually putting stuff out there and putting themselves out there. I wish I could do more of it.
Well, you can.
Oh, I know. That's just like we've talked about it.
I know.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there. I
know, but you're there. You're like, I don't know what percentage, but you're a very big percentage there because it's clearly something you recognize and you're very self-aware of and present with. So I feel like that's the step before you're executing on it.
Oh, yeah.
So
for sure.
Cool.
Well, I appreciate everything. I want to ask you about your CRM though. I'm into all that stuff. I've been doing CRMs for forever since I was back in the banking industry.
Ask away.
Now, does it do anything for estimating?
Yes, absolutely. So for quoting is one of, there's a lot of features I love. Quoting is one of those, a lot of features that I love. So quoting, you can do quotes for flat glass, you can do quotes for automotive. And really the way it came about was the quotes for flat glass especially came about because, we found ourselves going out to that consultation and we said, well, what is the most efficient way to get a proposal on the spot in the customer's hand, hopefully get them to approve it and be able to reference that data in the future as a company, be able to clearly see the measurements and so on. And, the step before the online proposals was our company before, when we had a flat glass company, when this Tint Wiz was something we were using only for ourselves. The plan was they would do the estimate out in paper. They would take a picture of it. They would upload it into Tint Wiz. They would hand the customer the piece of paper and move on. And that was one way of doing it. It wasn't the neatest or clearest way of doing it or most manageable, but that's how we did it. When we evolved into the to the digital estimating, that allowed for our consultants to write right there and then. They type in the measurement, the width times the height, the square foot is calculated for them. They move on to the next door, window, transom, skylight, whatever it is, width times height, calculates for them. That was the day we went to online digital proposals was the last time there was ever a single measurement mistake for our company. Because before that, once every couple of weeks, somebody would quote and they would have miscalculated the square foot and the quote was way off in some crazy direction that you had to explain to the customer or in some low direction that we were wondering why we're doing the job because now we're losing money because it was so low. And that solved it. Now, the next thing that it also solved was, I believe winning, there's not one thing you need to do right. In business, it's a combination of a lot of things. And being able to present a digital proposal to customers who are now in a digital age and more looking for that technology, it not only impressed them when they saw it, but then it put our proposal on their phone, on their iPad, accessible on their computer, in their email. Meaning our proposal went with the customer 24/7, 7 days a week. Anywhere they were, they had our proposal with them. They could reference it, they could approve it, and they could request when they want to get the job scheduled. Everybody else who bid up against us, their proposal usually was a piece of paper that went in our company folder that we left with the customer. So my point being, that proposal being in their phone and being able to approve that at 10 p.m. at night was the difference between winning some jobs just based on accessibility versus the competitor who scribbled out some notes or said, I don't want to put the measurements in the quote because they're gonna get other bids and all that nonsense. Well, the customers like when they can hit approve, gives them a sense of they know what they're getting. It's easy to do, and it added a level of professionalism that just is another, another tool in your tool belt when it comes to winning jobs over competitors and getting a higher price per square foot.
Absolutely. I got some more questions.
Shoot.
Let me ask you because I'm always interested in stuff like retargeting the customer. Because like in our business, I have to talk to somebody 5 or 6 times before I can get them to come on board. I mean, it's just, we see that in every business. So when you're retargeting, like you're sending them follow-ups and everything, how many times do you have to touch that customer before you get them to close? You see guys closing deals a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later, and how many retargets in between?
Sure. So, I can only speak for what I was able to gather for my flat glass company when I had it. I had it from 2014 till December of 2018 when I sold it to another company that was competing in our area. And because, as far as our users go, that's not information that we gather or track or have any access to. So I can say for ourselves, our goal was always when we're out there to be selling the job on site. We always would do a follow-up 3 days later. And, we would do a follow-up maybe a week and a half later. About that 10-day mark, we would do another follow-up. Now, most of the jobs...
So your software does all that for you now?
So
you can set up retargets?
Set up retargets. So it's not automatically doing those retargets. It's just making it easy for you to be able to know who you need to email, who you need to call and text message to. So it's, it's not an automatic retargeting to where you're just going to put them in there and now the system's going to start targeting them. And the reason it's not doing that is because, yes, there's a million ways you can automate those sorts of things. I don't believe that we're dealing with numbers. I don't believe any tint company. We're doing over $3 million in residential and small and medium-sized commercial per year. And at that level, it still was something that I felt was better handled on an individual basis. So what I'm saying is I need to know easily who is unapproved that has a proposal within the last 3 days or 4 days. I need to get that information within a second, but then I can take the time to follow up with that customer and send them a text message or a call or an email, because sending that message is going to take me a minute, but me sending that message and doing it authentically with actual information pertaining to their job is going to have such a benefit versus an automated system where, at the end of the day, no matter what, the customer, you feel an automated system. There's a feeling to it, and I don't believe that's a feeling that has
mass emails for years.
There's places for that. I'm going to say there's no place for a mass email, but in current day, but there's places for automation. But I don't feel follow-ups after you've already met the person, spoke with them, and now you're going to automate those follow-ups out for weeks and multiple touches. I just don't think that's the most effective thing. And one thing about Tint Wiz that, I want to make super clear for everybody, because I feel like it's a pivotal part of why it's such a great program is, Tint Wiz, yes, is a CRM, but when you look at CRMs, there's millions of CRMs out there. And if you're looking for a way to put together your systems into an electronic device and say, this is how I run my business. Can this program do everything how I run my business for me? The answer for Tint Wiz is going to be no. And the answer for, if you want to accomplish that, you'll probably combine a bunch of apps and systems that work together with each other, hopefully smoothly at first. Later it will become complicated and clunky and overall inefficient. So Tint Wiz it's a CRM, it's a system, and it's based off of the best practices that I was able to develop for our business. So it's the lead to invoice, the way that I said, how can we, we developed as we grew the business, how can these be the most efficient steps? So if you're looking for a system to follow from start to finish that for sure works and is easy to follow through, that's Tint Wiz. For those that say, I have a million systems in place and I want them to operate like this, can Tint Wiz do that? Definitely not, because we're not here to sacrifice inefficiency or make things work in ways that satisfy users if it's not the best way to do it. We want it to be the best way to do it. We want you to be doing things the right way, because the second you open it up to all variables, I feel like you lose some of the magic of what we've been able to create. Because again, if you're looking for the most ultimate CRM in the world, if you're a tinter and you're saying, what is the best CRM I can build that can do absolutely everything I can dream of, then Salesforce is probably your place to start. And it's going to be super intensive to set up. Training is going to be a bitch every single time you try to train somebody. It's going to be expensive. It's going to be a mess, and it's going to have a lot of things that are not going to have to do with your business. But yes, it's powerful. I didn't go that route because I think that's it's just not the best way to run your business as a tinter.
I hate it. I switched to the classic Salesforce. I don't even like the new stuff in the cloud and all that. I'm old school. I like simpler, better. But I think being industry specific is the key to everything. I mean, look at Patrick, with iMagnet. I mean, there's so many companies out there that do social media stuff, but who really knows window tint and does social media?
Exactly.
It's the same thing with you.
That's exactly that.
Window tint, and that's being specific to the industry is key to everything.
And I'm definitely willing to say there are a lot of ways to cook a steak and it comes out delicious. There's a lot of ways to run your tint business, and I hope it could be very successful. I don't think there's a right and a wrong way, but what I can share is a way that worked for me in a way that I think is a little unprecedented in the industry, a way that I'm excited to share, and it's a way that anybody can jump on, start using a program, and have something that I guarded with my life as a secret weapon and felt was the one of the biggest keys to us growing the business and running the business and it being so successful. And when it clicked and I had the opportunity to sell it, and I said, so wait, now I don't have to guard the secret. I could share this with everybody. That was exciting. And that's what we have to offer.
Well, cool. I'm going to definitely have to talk to you later. I want to roll it out to some of our guys, our dealers, especially our guys in the Middle East and stuff. I mean, they love that stuff.
And it gives them a competitive advantage, because I'll tell you, one of the very easy spots to see like a competitive advantage when you start using Tint Wiz is how fast and how efficiently you're able to gather your customers' information and schedule them right then and there. That is something where you get actual positive feedback from the customer right away. Wow, that was quick. Wow, you're coming out to me quick because you're able to schedule it efficiently. Wow, gathering their information's fast. I call a dentist and you're on the phone for 10 minutes. Wow, what's your name? What's your this? And they're trying to type it. And I'm so sorry, my system's so slow. And when you're able to provide them better customer service, a customer than they've ever dealt with other services, it's a little mind-blowing. Then when a consultant comes in, whether it's just the owner-operator, it's a consultant, and they have the customer's information and they're putting in the measurements and creating a proposal right in front of them, that's another wow moment. When the installer's coming back and they have pictures, or the customer calls the office and the person answering the phone doesn't say, I'm going to get with the person who you met with and I'll have them give you a ring back. Instead, they pull them up before they're done telling them their address, and they go, oh yeah, we quoted you so-and-so for those windows. I'm looking at them right now. You have the window right above the kitchen sink that you wanted, so and so on. That sort of wow effect. I mean, this is how the customers, they're no longer interested in other bids. They're no longer interested in why are they cheaper than you, and you win them over. And you provide the best damn service that making your customer happy, to me, it's the whole thing. It's the fulfillment of the job.
Showing that professionalism. People are really picky about their homes and cars. We work on two of the most precious things for people, And so you want to show them you're on the ball.
You make your life easy when you're professional, because when you're professional and you're wowing people, you're like taking control of everything, and they become in your hands. They question things less. They appreciate things more. They're more likely to leave you a review when you wow them than when you just do average service. They're less likely to complain about things when they feel like they really got a great service than if, they kind of feel like a little untrustworthy of your capabilities or your organization and so on. So,
well, for sure, we're gonna have to talk more. I need to pin down some numbers on how much it costed. Talk to you about something, get a deal for my dealers.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. I feel like it's an advantage.
Everybody should do it.
It's an advantage for everybody to use. It's one of those. If you use it now, you're going to be the only one probably sending a digital proposal in your area. You use it in a couple of years from now, you're going to be the only one sending paper until you start using the digital. You'll be the only guy with the paper left. It's just a matter of time. So I feel like people should take advantage of the early, everybody jumps on board when they're ready, but those who adopt early get the advantage.
Oh, yeah, I believe that. Well, cool, man. Thanks for having me on. My baby's crying back there in case you can't hear it.
I can't hear it, but thank you for doing this. Sorry for the confusion on the hours. I appreciate you jumping right on. And yeah, I hope to do this again soon. GeoShield's on my radar, and I'm excited to see what comes next. And I hope it's a lot of Instagram and Facebook videos as one of the things I'm looking forward to from you guys.
Yeah, try to be more like you. You're doing a great job.
I appreciate you saying that. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with Sean from Solar FX, and same place, same time. And again, thanks for everybody who's watching. I appreciate everybody who joins us every week. And once again, thank you. All right, have a good night, Burns.
All right, have a good one.
All right.